Yeah, hello there. No, it's a pleasure to be here. I'll quickly tell you something about myself. Then I thought about our fund in general, what it's about, and then what we're looking for in entrepreneurs and kind of what we have to offer entrepreneurs. If you have questions in the meantime, please feel free to ask them. Yeah, I mean, I myself, I guess I did a kind of classical career towards VC. First started as a management consultant, then at some point decided this is too boring, I want to do something more exciting, and founded my own company, a jewelry e-commerce startup. Realized after a while I should have understood the market better before doing this, and that this is not working the way it should have worked, and then stopped and decided to switch to the dark side and go into VC. Yeah, the company I'm working for, Ara Digital Rafa and C. Many people haven't heard about it. It's founded by Jochen Gutbrot. Some people rather know him. He used to be the vice head of Holzbrink, the big publishing group that also has Holzbrink Ventures and Holzbrink Digital, which he kind of built up for them. And like 3 years ago, decided actually this is much more exciting than the whole publishing business, and went and founded his own company. And some wonder about the name and the associations. It's kind of originally he teamed up with a family office from Hamburg, the Rafa family. Then at some point kind of did a second vehicle that's our Digital Ventures. And yeah, we kind of have private money. We're not a proper fund, but we actually kind of act like a fund. We also want to do exits, but I guess we can be a bit more relaxed than big funds, we have to say. After 5 years, it's over. And we have around 30 portfolio companies, most of them in Germany. There are many, actually some of you might also know, like Westwing, Windeln.de, Blacklane, who've been here earlier, Outfittery, Auktionata, SumUp, and like a few others, around 30 overall. We kind of do 300 to 500K tickets, but are also quite flexible into all directions. Also stage-wise, I mean, we do early seed up to late Series A. We're also kind of not keen on having a board seat or whatever. We always think we contribute what we can contribute in any situation. Doesn't matter that much if we kind of have a big ticket or a small ticket, as long as we can do something. And yeah, then kind of moving on to the next point, what kind of companies are we looking for? And yeah, I mean, partly based also on my own lessons, what I've learned also from founding my own company, but also kind of looking at the market and what works and what doesn't work. In general, our criteria are a bit, we want to have a disruptive model, but rather kind of then saying, hey, there's something people could use and this might be interesting for somebody or whatever. Saying, hey, there's an actual need that people have currently, it's uncovered by market so far, or it's kind of done badly by the market so far, we want to change this as a kind of basic starting point from where to develop an idea. And then going on from there, it's quite important for us that you can say we're building up some long-term assets here, and assets, I mean, can be anything. It can be that we're building up the best customer relations, they will never want to leave us, or we're building up a product that nobody can copy. In general, it's kind of, we don't want ideas where we can say, hey, if Rocket comes and throws 50 million on it, you'll actually be dead, because it's all about being the fastest and being the first and being the one who's kind of quickest at establishing the model. So that's kind of on the idea side, what we're looking for. I mean, topic-wise, we've done a lot of e-commerce. We're very interested in fintech. Digital health is also something we're interested in, but in general, we're very open about that. And then kind of moving on to the next factor, that's obviously kind of, after the idea is proven, I mean, that's a given, that this has to be good. We want to see a team that we like to work together with. And I would say as maybe kind of a few criteria I would point out as relatively important. I think it's important to know your market. As I said, that's also kind of from my own experience, but we often see now, I guess a few years ago was a bit different. You could have kind of two WHU graduates and say, hey, we'll build an online shop and then it's all going to work out. But that by now we see actually having people who come from the market, really understand the dynamics of a market, is a very valuable asset for most business models. So we would definitely say whatever you do, actually also try to do it in something where you're good and where you've at least collected some experience, or you have team members that have. That's always an advice we would give people. And then kind of, yeah, I guess the second important factor is the kind of what kind of people do we like to work with. And then I think one criterion I always think is very important for an entrepreneur it's interesting. I read an article recently, everyone's always saying, hey, entrepreneurs need to be risk takers and all that. I don't even believe that much that the kind of qualifying criterion for a good entrepreneur is the kind of that he's more risk taking than others. But I think it's really the entrepreneurial spirit is more that people are willing just to do stuff. It's a lot what kind of I also missed, for example, as somebody working in a management consultancy for BCG and working with big corporates, is the kind of attitude, oof, I don't know, should we do this, should we try this, do I have any numbers to prove this? And if they don't do it. As an entrepreneur, I would say it's very, very important that you just try out stuff. If you think, this could be good, do it. And then try it, fail, and if it kind of doesn't work, try the next thing. So yeah, those I would say, this would say is a good quality, and then also kind of know what you're doing and have full control over your business. If somebody asks you, hey, what about this department? You say, oh no, that's all managed by my kind of partner in this department. Well, yeah, maybe, but actually kind of the core team should know exactly what's going on in the business, be very much in control, know the numbers, know what's going on, and that I would say is also a very important quality for a good entrepreneur, be on top of things. And then kind of what we want to contribute or do contribute for our companies, it depends a lot. We're very kind of opportunistic in that sense. We're not saying, hey, we're the kind of guys who will always do this and that. But I guess one good thing is that despite being a very early stage investor, with Jochen having been in the business for ages and being a very senior figure, he knows kind of all the big VCs as well as the exit candidates. Having been kind of vice head of one of the biggest publishers, it's not too bad to knowing the other people who are in these positions. And yeah, apart from that, we do kind of operational support. If you need to, I'll help you write your business plan or your presentation. But then again, as I said, we try also to provide the support during financing rounds where we think you can add a lot of value as a VC, as an early stage VC going to later stage VCs especially, and then in all sorts of areas where you need expertise. And we'll often also try to be a bit kind of the mediator between other VCs and founders and kind of put ourselves a bit on the founder side. As I said, also, if you want to have us as an investor, we recommend to anyone do your due diligence and talk to ventures and see if they liked us or not. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.